Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that. I'm here to do a crappy commentary. Here we go, there's a boat. Look at him go, single file, beautiful. But yeah, honestly, entered the race, no qualification, no hope, did no practice, a little practice, like a day before. And nobody thought it was going to rain, and I really hoped it would. And for a few hours before the race started, we started practicing in rain, and then apparently through GT2 and 3 people were finding out that rain was coming. So I was glad that I practiced for it, and I was in it for the long haul. Anyways, lap 1, a couple of slappers, a little bit of a chain reaction, follow the leader, sympathy spin, here they go, look at this, 1, 2, 3, poor third though. That's some critical damage straight away. Ouchies. Anyways, in my view, this is scary for lap 1, but all like sweet. Couple in the bag already, that's what we're hoping for. Relying on a bit of damage. Had to do an old boy, which way we going, and then had to really make sure I gave that guy room. He didn't give it back, he bumped me, and then I could still get the traction down faster than him. Off you go, buddy. So we're off to a good start. Couple laps later though, we are going pretty quick for this car, but not quick enough. We're bogged down, we're losing blokes up ahead. This bloke's flying. Bit too hard if you ask me. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. That's really gotta hurt. So anyways, plugging away. Couple more laps down. Slapping. So I'm wanging it. We've done a 202 already, which is faster than we're going in the lobbies. Here's the new leader. This poor bloke, Abithaka Rose. He has a disaster of a race. That's your layout right now. We are quite a long way back, as you can see. 6 laps in, 4 gains, so we're already winning. But it's looking rough. Now, it's going to be darker. I think you see the first little sprinkles of rain right here. And this turn was kind of where it started, and then down at Spoon was what started claiming victims nice and early. But very soon, the chaos begins. This is a little bit up ahead. It's already happening. I wasn't paying any attention to the map, but you can see on the radar. Big spin. He's off. He's off. He's nearly off. He's off. He's off. He's off. He's off. He's off. Ah, nearly. So you can see it's getting risky. We get another 2 here. Just quick thinking, get the grip down. The Supra kept me honest. I was not knowing if he was going to get back beside me or give me a little clip into here. He made the smart choice and pulled back in. Next lap coming around. A little bit more wet. We were looking too confident on the slicks in the wet, and honestly looking to repeat a huge mistake that we made in Spa. Massive wet conditions last year from overconfidence, except different ends of the grid at that time. But here we go, Spoon again. You can see on the radar, spinny winnies. We're still going through nice though. We're sensible. Traction's not yet on. this bloke again. Now why they've all had that much trouble, like I didn't have the trouble going around that turn, but why these blokes have all had that much trouble and then not jumped on the wets or the inters straight away. That was the second lap in a row they've already all done that. Now the scooter, this poor bloke right there, he becomes a mate and an ally throughout this race. So I think I'm a hero. I'm going to continue on. No pit. As of every single other mong in front of me that just yeeted themselves off the track at Spoon. So here we go. Third lap in the wet going into the hairpin. We've nearly caught up to the vision that kind of started it all. The yellows are out. I'm already like, oh, left, and this felt like slow motion. I could see like 6 cars off the track at that point. Had I not lifted a second earlier, I reckon I would have smashed into that wall. Game over. This, even like at this point, I still wasn't panicking. I knew everybody else was going through the same thing. I was just trying to stay straight, and then you got to duck and dive and dodge people. Let him go back past. Alright, we pushed it a lap too far, 100%. This was the start of it. He's the leader too. Look how far ahead he is at this point. So lap 13, these are all the blokes who stayed out. Except these guys were up the pointy end. I started at the back, so I didn't have much to lose. These blokes have lost everything at this point. Still got 16 people in it too. But look at it. It's just Benny Hill. Everywhere you look. There's me all the way in the background. After they've all done that. Just absolute chaos. Moist. How we kept it together and didn't get damage, I'll never know. So anyways, it's pretty obvious now. You've pushed your luck. Could have been up to 5th by this point, maybe higher. Get into the pit, son. Box, box. Box, 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 box. Now, we took the inters. When we practiced, we're on the wets. But we took the inters, looking at how the rain was, how it had come down, and the fact that it was only on 2 parts of the track, really. I thought inters, like, I knew it was going to get bad at some points, and it's going to be heavy wet in those parts, so I've got to keep it together there, but everywhere else, I could treat the track kind of the same, so inters. So first few laps, we were going to struggle, but hopefully we were going to be able to take advantage of the people that, silly enough as you see here, still were yet to get onto the wets or inters, but mostly to take advantage 5 or so laps from now with the guys on the wets. Because I knew the rain, it didn't seem that bad, like it wasn't full torrential rain, and it was only in one part of the circuit where it was really bad, so I just thought it's going to dry out. You can see that yellow is just outside the hairpin. I think it was, yeah, it's the vision again, losing positions again. At this point too, like the confidence was already there throughout the race, just with the hard driving in the dry. At this point, I was like, this is my chance. Like I screwed it up already, a lap too many. I really could have already been kind of fighting for the lead had I gone in that lap earlier, but still at this point, I was like, this is great. This is a huge gain. Let's just keep plugging away. So, Scooter, who had started, I think he started 13th, and I started, or 14th, and I started 16th. And now at this point in the race, through sensible driving, we're both on the inters, in the middle of the pack, still chasing down the kind of 5 guys that were outright the fast dudes from the start. Now this bloke, I mean, with how many times he crashed, he should have been a minute ahead. Again, terrifying. Me and the scoots. See, even here, he was very, very hesitant there. He could have, like, I felt so comfortable racing around this bloke already. It was basically 10 laps of this. And I knew what strengths and weaknesses my car had, and kind of went to when I could put the grip down compared to others. There's a lot of short shifting for stability. Listening to his car, he was wanging it. But it was very hard to see. The spray was intense, the rain was intense. So we're still cruising, and I think at this point, yeah, the Audi, who was the race leader, who killed himself before the rain even come, and stayed out with the damage, he's starting to catch up to us, and he's on the inters too. There was only about 5 of us. Everybody else went full wet, and then there were a couple of fools who stayed way too long on the hards. So he's catching, and I know he's catching at this point. The gap had gone from like 5 seconds to like 2, 3, and I'm still just chilling behind Scooter. I make that mistake. Was kind of glad though, was because like, well, at least I don't have to worry about him contacting me. And not long after, he sends himself off. Scooter goes right back in, and then I was worried here watching this, but at the same time I'm like, alright, I can get back in here. But Scooter kept him honest. He kept trying to fight back, keep his position. And what had blown again to a 2-second gap, had kind of cut back out to half a second for me. So I was kind of hoping that Audi would just hurricane his way through the field at the same time. You can see the dry line starting to appear. And again, it's like perfect into weather right now. So there's a lot of people. Us 3 are on the inters. The leaders are on the wet. I think Mad Max is the only one out of the leaders that is on the inters. Maximising on keeping the tyres cool. The weather and the dry line was really good here. Like on many tracks, I must say, like the dry line doesn't either feel right or it happens too quickly. It felt very unique on this. Here he is. See, he's bumping his way through. Poor Cedars is feeling his wrath now. But he did quite a bit of this. He was the fastest guy there, but he gave no hoots about anybody that was in front of him. Much contact, and he drove around with it, like a lot of the race with the contact, which I was surprised too. You can see how spaced out the grid is. Like, the rain has done its work, the crashes have done its work. Here we are at lap 23. Me and Scooter, 5th and 6th, chasing down Mad Max, who's had some issues. So this is on. Like, I am on for top 5 at this point. The leaders are in. They did have the inters, sorry. So basically, me and Scooter came from the back, jumped on the inters when it mattered through making our way through, and then the leaders are on the inters too, but how they use them is different. Like, some go too early, some go too late. But us and the Audi, all in at the same time, and that's a key point. Max stays out, and then the other 2 blokes who went in the first they made a little bit of a boo-boo. Nice and chill on the hards. I'm not going to fall for that trick like these two Muppets did. And I've seen it. Other people fell for it too. Amateur. Anyways, we all come back out. The race is on. We're in front of Cedars and the quickest guy. We're on the tyres that are cruising. Let's go. At this point, I genuinely thought top 3 is on, maybe the win. But I found out pretty quick, like, the drier the track got, my car just could not keep up with the quicker cars. But I was pushing, I was trying. Scooter's mirror would have been a big fat boat. Now I've got the Audi again. At this point, like the whole race, I was pretty calm, even with all the issues, accidents, strategies, whatever. At this point, my heart felt like I was going to explode. Like I'd been very calm, and at this point, I think as soon as the last few pits had happened, and we went past the line 1, 2, 3, I genuinely thought, here we go. And then even when he went, I still thought, here we go, because I knew he was the quickest bloke. I thought he wants first, he's going to be a path of destruction. But anyways, that's how it pretty much played out. The Audi does get there. This poor bloke, he inherited the lead after all the initial mistakes and stayed out too long on his hards. And I could have held him off had I not got that penalty, which I got at the chicane, ending the lap before this. And then even still, I was right on him. Second last lap. But basically, for the next 2 laps, I watched the Merc and Scooter battle, and I was honestly the whole time just hoping Scooter could hold on to it, because he deserved the third, and he'd been pushed aside a lot in the race. You can see he's got the rear damage, which he picked up from the Audi, which I think was the second time too. So I was just trying to keep up, but at the same time, like I was just engrossed in that Ford, watching that Ford stay in front. So that was it. I had survived at this point. I was very calm. I knew that Max was a good 5 seconds behind. Top 5 was locked up. 16th to 5th. No quali. Did yeet myself off the track through a little bit of like just being a bit egotistical with the tyres. So it could have, at best, I think, been a third. Had I not had that moment, gone in when I should have, could have saved myself maybe 20 seconds. But who knows? Still, to pull this off, I was elated. It honestly felt like a repeat of the Spa race, except with the Spa race I had pace, I'd qualified well, and it was a series of fortunes up and down the grid, But this car in the rain, I have an affinity with it. I feel very, very comfortable in this car in the rain. Anyways, it was slow. It's very slow on the dry. I tested it for like 5 laps at Dragon Trail. It's going to be very slow there. But being full strategy race, like hards required, all tyres, 35 laps, something like that, I still think it'll be a cracker. And the heavy damage will be an equaliser, because Dragon Trail, people are going to have to learn they can't full send, because they're going to die at some point. So anyways guys, that was the race. Scooter's my new best mate. Honestly, I'll race around that guy anytime. He can be my wingman anytime. Bad luck, Mad Max. Cedars, felt sorry for him. He choked up a guaranteed podium. That guy's a bit of a poss, but whatever. He was fast. Anyways guys, it was incredible. I loved it. Had so much fun.